Read 180 presents The Starfisher by Lawrence Yep. Before you get started, let me tell you a little bit about this book. The Starfisher is fiction, but parts of it are based on the real-life experiences of the author's Chinese-American relatives. The story takes place in 1927 in the small town of Clarksburg, West Virginia. At that time, few Chinese Americans lived in places like Clarksburg. Most of them lived in big cities, often in neighborhoods called Chinatowns, where almost all the residents were Chinese American. As the story begins, 15-year-old Joan Lee, a Chinese American girl, and her family have just arrived in Clarksburg. Joan's father is excited about opening a new business and starting a new life in Clarksburg, but Joan is not too thrilled about leaving her former home in Ohio. Joan was born in the United States and feels just as American as anyone else, but the Lees don't know anyone in Clarksburg, and their first encounter with the locals is anything but friendly. As they get off the train, they are greeted by a man who calls them names and seems shocked to learn that Joan and her younger brother and sister can speak English. The man is not alone in his attitude. The Lees soon discover that many of the townspeople view them as suspicious outsiders. Worse yet, potential customers are staying away from their new laundry. Will the Lees ever find acceptance? You'll soon be reading all about it. But first, your reading coach Ozzy has something to say.
Hey, this is Ozzy, and I'll be reading this book with you. From time to time, I'll pop in to make sure we don't miss anything important. I'll also show you some things I do when I get stuck while I'm reading. You know, like if I come across a word I don't know. Speaking of words I don't know, right now I'm wondering what a starfisher is. Guess we'll find out sooner or later. Okay, turn to page 3 and get ready to follow along in your book as you listen.
The Starfisher by Lawrence Yep. Spring, 1927. Chapter 1. Suddenly, the town didn't scare me anymore, because it was like a sea that was all mine to explore. So maybe I'll fish for a few stars, I said softly. Emily was already opening the picnic basket. What? She asked. I think I'm going to like it here, I said, and went back to straightening the blanket.
Congratulations! We've made it to the end of the book. So have Joan and her family. Of course, they had a little help from Miss Lucy along with a few other good-hearted people. Of course, not everyone in town likes them yet. The sign on the hardware store shows that there's still some prejudiced people. But that doesn't seem to bother the Lees too much. Why do you think that is? Well, for one thing, they've done all right so far. They have new friends and the laundry is a success. And most importantly, they have each other. Joan is still imagining herself as a starfisher, but now she's planning to fish for some stars right there in Clarksburg. She's decided she's probably going to like it there. Well, I hope you like this book. I liked it because I think lots of people have gone through something similar to what Joan did. Whenever you move to a new place, it takes a while to figure out where home is. And of course, there are prejudiced people everywhere. Fortunately, there are also plenty of good people like Miss Lucy around. If you enjoyed The Starfisher as much as I did, be sure to recommend it to a friend. See you later, and thanks for joining me for this book.